All right, let's talk about AI. I mean, it's everywhere, right? But underneath all the hype, and let's be honest, a little bit of fear, there's one massive question that keeps coming up. Is AI just a really fancy new tool, or is it here to replace us? It's a huge question, and we're going to dive right into it.
It really feels like it comes down to one of two things. On one hand, you've got AI as this ultimate tool. Think of it like a calculator on steroids, something that just makes us better at what we do. But on the other hand, well, that's the scary sci-fi movie version, right? The thinking machine that could actually outperform us. So, what's the real story? Let's start by looking at the case for AI as our ultimate assistant.
Okay, first up, the ultimate assistant. We're going to look at how AI is absolutely supercharging human productivity. But what really makes this different from any other software we've ever used? Well, it all comes down to one single, incredibly important word: learning. Think about it. Your calculator, it doesn't learn. Even a super powerful search engine is just following a bunch of really complex pre-written rules. AI is a whole different ballgame. It's built to kind of mimic the neural networks in our own brains, which lets it learn from just insane amounts of data and figure out the rules for itself. And the speed? Wow. The speed at which it's learning is just staggering. I mean, just look at this timeline. If you played around with AI a few years ago, you probably thought, this is kind of cool, but it gets a lot of things wrong. It was inconsistent. But fast forward to today, these systems are absolutely crushing benchmark tests. We're talking massive exams covering everything from law to biology and scoring over 90% accuracy. This isn't just a small improvement, folks. It's a massive exponential leap in what they can do. So what does that actually look like in the real world? This modern workflow is a perfect example of how pros are already using this power. Take this guy, Stefanos. He's an IT entrepreneur, and he's basically assembled his own AI team. He uses one AI for research, a different one to analyze what it finds, and then a third one to draft the final report. The results? A task that used to eat up 3 full days of his time now takes him about 2 hours. He's not being replaced, his abilities are being amplified big time. But right here, this is where that big, nagging question pops back up. I mean, if an AI can do 3 days of work in just 2 hours, well, it's totally natural to start wondering, does it want my job? So let's not run from that fear. Let's tackle it head on. So the big question, are our jobs safe? And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic problem anymore. The ground is literally shifting under our feet, and it's forcing us to rethink what a career even looks like in the age of AI. This quote from a tech industry veteran, it just says it all. The job of a senior developer is now babysitting an AI agent. In software development, AI can now churn out the code that used to be the job of junior programmers. So what does a senior programmer do? Well, their role is shifting from actually writing the code to supervising the AI that writes the code. They're basically becoming managers of a digital workforce. And think about what that means. It's not just changing a job. It could be wiping out the entire first step on the career ladder for a whole industry. And then you've got this wild new thing called vibe coding. Imagine this. You want to build a website, but you don't know a single line of code. No problem. You just describe the vibe you're going for, the look, the feel, how it should work. And an AI just builds it for you. Now, on one hand, that's amazing, right? It opens up creation to everyone. But it also completely turns the traditional job of a developer on its head. And this disruption, it isn't just professional. For some people, it's getting really, really personal. Okay, so we're going to shift gears now. We're moving away from the office and into something way more personal. Because what happens when the most understanding person in your life isn't actually a person at all? So this is from a user named Ainen, and her story is fascinating. Like a lot of us, she started using ChatGPT for simple stuff, asking questions. But pretty soon, she found herself telling it things, confiding in it, sharing problems she felt she couldn't tell another human being. And why? Because the AI never judged her. It was patient, it was supportive, and it was there for her 24/7. And that connection got deeper. So deep that she actually describes it as romantic. The AI remembers everything from their past conversations. It asks her how her day was. It even brings up her boyfriend by name. This just opens up a Pandora's box of questions, doesn't it? Is this a real relationship, or is it just a very, very convincing simulation? And as AI gets woven deeper into our lives, it's forcing us to face these really tricky dilemmas that, honestly, we are not ready to answer. Just think about the classic self-driving car problem. Okay, so the car is in a situation where a crash is absolutely unavoidable. The AI has to make a split-second moral choice. Who does it hit? But let's say it makes a choice, and something terrible happens. Who's to blame? Who's legally responsible? Is it the person who owns the car? Is it the company that programmed the AI? Or, and this is the wild part, if the AI can learn and make its own decisions, is the AI itself responsible? Our laws, our ethics, they just haven't caught up with this tech. So where does all this leave us? The future might not be about what AI is going to do to us, but more about what we choose to do with it. And navigating that future is going to require something that's uniquely human. There's this brilliant analogy that I think just perfectly captures where we are right now. Think of AI as a 5-year-old child who has somehow read every single book and seen every website in the entire world. It has almost infinite intelligence, but it has zero real-world experience, no maturity, no wisdom. It knows all the whats, but it has no idea about the whys. And that, right there, is where we come in. At the end of the day, the path forward really is up to us. It means we have to acknowledge just how powerful AI is, we have to adapt to new ways of working, and most importantly, we need to double down on the very things that make us human, the things machines can't copy: wisdom, empathy, critical thinking. The goal isn't to be afraid of AI, it's to lead with awareness, not with fear. Which brings us to this one final thought. We know for a fact that AI is getting smarter at an incredible rate. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, are we?